We are live. Hello, Instagram. I hope you're doing well. This is my first live on this account, and I haven't been live in a while in general, so this is going to be fun. I want to talk about 3 benefits of taking a break from alcohol. And the reason is because, well, it's October and some countries are observing Sober October. And I am officially, as of today, 1 year and 9 months sober. I mean, I cannot believe this, like throwing confetti in the air that I don't have, but it's imaginary confetti. And so I was thinking a little bit about, I still get a lot of questions from people around, how does it feel? How does it feel to be sober? What are the benefits? And so I thought I'm going to try and distill it down to 3 benefits, because I do feel like there's a lot of benefits, and the longer I am on my sober journey, the more benefits I'm uncovering. And it's more around diving deeper into all of the benefits around being sober and not necessarily finding out new ones all the time. It's more unpacking the obvious ones a lot more. And in trying to distill it down to 3, it was actually quite difficult, because I was thinking about, there's lots of benefits in terms of your physical health, emotional, mental well-being, your social well-being, your spiritual well-being. And so really thinking about it, I was like, okay, how am I going to distill it down to 3? But I've managed to do it, and I wanted to share them with you in case you are considering to do Sober October this month and really try and take a break from alcohol for 31 days. In case you are looking for some support, in case you have been sober curious for a while, but you just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. I know for me that was definitely the case. I tried, dry January and Sober October a few times before I actually completely went sober. Like, this is the longest time I've been without alcohol and other drugs, 1 year and 9 months today. Woohoo! So proud of myself. But as I said, I tried it a few times before I actually took that step to stay sober. And I found that going sober is not as difficult as staying sober. It just takes a lot of practice. And going sober the first time, I remember my first time trying to go sober, I only lasted 5 days. And then the second time, I think I lasted not even 3 weeks. I don't remember. And I'm not saying this to judge myself or beat up on myself. I'm just saying this because I know for many out there, this resonates, right? And I've seen friends of mine, I've seen my fiance try several times. I think my fiance's longest period going sober was probably 3, 4, 5 months. I don't remember, I should ask him. But just to say, the first attempt can feel quite difficult to just quit alcohol, right? So I'd rather just you see it as taking a break from alcohol so that you can actually experience some of the benefits of sobriety for a longer period of time, for longer than a weekend or a week or even 3 weeks, right? And so what else did I want to say about that? So yeah, if you're looking for some motivation, this is why I wanted to put together this video. Also, in January of this year, of 2022, I put together a sobriety challenge specifically for DJs and producers, to help them really go through their sober month, take their first steps or their next steps on their sober journey, and really help them, guide them through a sober month by putting together material, self-guided material, like in the form of a challenge to really help them get through it. Because it's really all the material that I wish I had when I went sober, the first time, second time, the whatever time. And so these are really the things that actually helped me right now to stick to my sober journey. And as I said, I wish I would have had all of those materials at my disposal, which is why I put all of that together for DJs and producers who are interested in trying to go sober for 31 days. Now, if you're thinking I'm not a DJ producer, this can also definitely apply to you. It's just very specifically geared towards people who are active in nightlife and club culture, because alcohol and other drugs are definitely so much linked to that culture. And so it makes a lot of sense to really try and help those people go through their first steps towards sobriety, or next steps, or second steps, whatever. And so this challenge really provides you with, first and foremost, super important, a very comprehensive prep work guide that consists of a lot of shadow work that you can do around sobriety, around your relationship with alcohol and other drugs, which is something that really helped me to stick to my journey of sobriety, now 1 year and 9 months in, officially today. And other than that, you also have material. So there's like 4 weeks. It's divided up in 4 parts. So every week you have some material. It's either audio, video, PDF, journaling prompts. It's kind of all mixed together because we all have different learning styles. And it's covering so much stuff. Amongst other things, it's covering where your beliefs and habits around alcohol and other drugs are coming from. So really generational attitudes around substances, and what legacy you actually want to leave behind around those substances. It also covers inner child work, so that you can really guide yourself gently through this journey and really not self-sabotage, not beat up on yourself. It's just really covering so many different things that really have helped me. And especially for me, that was the case that really helped me navigate my friendships without alcohol in the room. That was definitely a difficult one for me. So that and so much more is inside of that challenge. So if you're interested in taking the challenge, now all throughout October 7th, I am offering it for only €11. It is usually priced €111 because it's like 30 days of content, self-guided material that you can take yourself through, so that you can really stay motivated on your journey, so that you have like a structured process that you can take yourself through. Because I know, especially in the beginning, it's really going well, and then after a week or two, it's starting to get more difficult. So having that structure is super important. I'm offering it now for only €11, usually priced €111, and that offer stands until October 7th. So if you're interested, send me a DM, send me the word sobriety, and I will share the link with you where you can sign up so that you can get started right away. It's really not super heavy material. It's just really meant to help you guide through your 30 days or 31 days of sobriety. And it's really giving you something to do every 2 or 3 days, so that you have enough time to integrate, so that it's really fitting into your current lifestyle, so that you don't feel like you have to take a vacation to actually be able to go through this challenge. In terms of time commitment, think of it as spending 15 to 30 minutes every 2 to 3 days, and then taking those days where there isn't any material for you to go through, for it to integrate and for you to implement it. Think about it, maybe have conversations around it with your loved ones. That's always super interesting. So it's really not that time consuming. It's just really going to be a matter of sticking to those 30 days to really benefit from this challenge. So as I said, now until October 7th, only €11, usually priced $111. If you're interested, if you're like, yes, I can definitely use some structure and guidance around my sober journey, send me a DM with the word sobriety, and I will share the link with you so that you can sign up and get started right away. Now, for these 3 benefits of taking a break from alcohol, let me just dive in and say the first one is definitely better quality sleep. And this is interesting because I don't know if you guys have this, but I have like this widget on my phone that shows me pictures, like random pictures that are in my pictures folder, and I keep seeing the same picture from, I think it's March 2020 popping up, and I'm like, oh my god, I look so tired. And I remember taking that picture and feeling pretty good about myself. I felt like energized, I felt well rested. But actually, when I look at that photo, and if I'm comparing it to a photo of me now, it's just such a huge difference. I always look a little tired because I have like dark circles and whatever. I've always had that. It's just my face that's just that way. But I can just see I look a lot more like poofy and just worn down, you know. Even the look in my eyes isn't very bright and isn't very energized on that old photo. And so I've noticed, especially because I've always been a bit struggling with sleep, that quitting alcohol and other substances have helped improve my sleep so much. And I think we all know the benefits of a good night's rest, right? Especially on your, not just your physical health, but also your mental, emotional well-being. Super important. So that's definitely benefit number one. It improves your sleep dramatically for the better. And having a good night's sleep just really sets a whole bunch of other things in motion for you in terms of your personal wellness and mental well-being improvements as well. Then the second benefit, and this is a huge one, and this kind of took me a little bit longer to realize, but the second benefit has to do more with my spiritual health and my spiritual well-being. But over the years of increasingly using more substances, I lost the link to my spirituality. It just suddenly completely was absent from my life. I've always been a person that had a daily spiritual practice ever since I was really super young, ever since I was a child. And you know, when alcohol and then later other substances came into my life, slowly but surely my relationship to my spirituality just kind of started to dwindle down and die out, actually. And I suddenly realized at some point when I went sober last year, I looked around and I was like, where's my spiritual practice? Like, I don't have a spiritual practice anymore. And I've also heard from talking with other people who have gone sober that they really have found their faith again, or for the first time. And it seems like the two really go hand in hand. Going sober and going back to your faith, or for the first time ever in your life, actually finding your faith, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's very much tied to paganism, witchcraft, Eastern philosophies and ways of life, because I have a university degree in Eastern languages and cultures. I've always been obsessed with Taoism. So for me, that's that. For other people, it could be God, whatever that looks like for you. But having my spiritual practice back in my life has helped me build more self-confidence, more self-compassion, has made me feel more worthy and deserving of living my most abundant life right now. In this time in my life, it has helped me to keep my business going, especially during the past 2 years, because it's been quite tough for me to keep my business going. During this whole pandemic shit, we've all been going through the same thing, so I don't really need to elaborate on that. But it's really helped my self-confidence. It's helped me ease my anxiety in general. Like, I've always had general anxiety. It's helped me to have more patience and more faith and trust in things unfolding in a natural way in their own time. And that in and of itself, just really reintroducing my spiritual practice back into my life, growing my faith, has made me more resilient and has really created a much bigger sense of inner peace and calm and inner balance. And that in and of itself is priceless to me. It's like, I couldn't even put a price on it. Like, it's just the best thing in the world. It's something that I've always been craving. I've always had a lot of turmoil in my life growing up, and peace and inner balance were always things that I wanted to really integrate. And going sober definitely has done that for me. Also, other steps, other things that I've been doing in my life, but definitely going sober has been the thing that really put all of those things in motion and activated something inside of me that really over and over and over kept choosing and prioritizing my personal, mental, emotional, spiritual wellness, and also my financial wellness, actually, just wellness in general. So that was benefit number 2. And then benefit number 3 has been on a social level for me. I've really rediscovered social interactions and friendships and links to my family in ways that I didn't know were possible. Because having these conversations around going sober, especially, you know, I don't know what it's like for you, but especially my experience in my family, in my group of friends, alcohol has always had a place. I was probably 11 or 12 when I had my first drink, and it was like a passoa or a pisang, I don't remember, like a sip that I took at home at some, I think, family gathering or something that was happening at my mom's house. And that really was kind of, I remember that being in my family and in my group of friends, that was kind of like a rite of passage, having that first sip. And then really quickly after, the first beer followed, the first cigarette, the first joint, the first line, like all of that stuff. But so having these conversations with my parents, my friends, around the place alcohol is taking up in our lives and how it's linking us together and how it's bringing us together to do something together. And then you take that away and you're like, oh, but I used to go to see my best friend every other day and we would pop a bottle of wine, and that would be the thing, like call each other and like, wine? Yeah, sure, wine. And now it's like, I don't do that anymore, right? Because that element has been taken out of the interactions, out of the social interaction, out of the friendship, the relationship that we have with each other. And we had to learn to relate to each other in a very new way. And in the beginning, it was super difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it was very difficult. I did lose a few friends and that happens, and that's okay. But with other people, it's really deepened my relationships to them, my interactions with them in an unimaginable way, in ways I could never even think of before. So that's definitely the third benefit of taking a break from alcohol. And it's also inspired people around me to think about their drinking behavior, their behavior, you know, and how they handle drugs. It's really sparked within them more self-awareness, and then more food for further conversations that can help us really deepen our understanding around how we relate to things in our lives. Because I believe that everything in our lives is a relationship, right? It's the relationship to yourself, relationship to your parents, your romantic partner, your children, your body, your food, your relationship to nature. Like everything in life is a relationship, and everything is interconnected, intertwined. And so when you are thriving in one area, it tends to overflow into another. And it tends to kind of, you know, influence those around you. You know, just by being who you are, you influence people, even if you don't, you know, consciously are intending on it. So that's definitely been super interesting. So those were my 3 benefits of taking a break from alcohol. Let me know which one you liked the most. Let me know which one surprised you the most. And also definitely let me know if you are going to do Sober October this month, and if you want some guidance. I highly encourage you and invite you to check out my Sobriety Challenge. It's 31 days of content, really structured to help guide you through your first or next steps towards sobriety. For those of you who have been sober curious for a while, for those of you who may have tried a few times before and feel like you have quote unquote failed, for those of you, you know, who just really want to try and do this in a more conscious way, and really experience and understand on a deeper level what this can do for you in your life, not just for this month, but for many months to come, should you choose to, if you decide to go back to drinking and doing other substances afterwards. No judgment from me at all. Like, not at all, okay? I just really want to motivate and encourage you to just try this out. And currently my challenge is priced €11 instead of 111, only until October 7th. Just for those of you who are interested in doing Sober October, send me a DM. If you want the link to the challenge, send me the word sobriety and I will share the link with you so that you can get signed up and start right away. So that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will talk to you soon. Bye.